Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Joni Ogg, and on behalf of travelprofessionalnews.com and homebasetravelagency.com and findahosttravelagency.com, we really want to welcome all of you to today's webinar and thank you for taking the time out of your busy week with the holidays. We know how busy time is, so we appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. So today we welcome Dugan's Travels, and today's topic: is it a business turning your passion for travel into a professional endeavor? It's a great topic. And our speaker today is Melissa Land, who is the marketing coordinator at Dugan's Travels. She's been an advisor for the past 13 years and counting. And Melissa actually specializes in crafting unparalleled vacation experiences for her clients. Now, in her role as marketing coordinator for Dugan's Travels, she helps fellow advisors identify different tools, opportunities, and relationships so that they can take their businesses from good to great. And when she's not talking travel, Melissa will happily chat about food, wine, and epic TV shows. And Melissa resides in Southern California with her family. So please remember that you are all muted, but we do welcome your questions at any time. So you can just type those in the question or the chat area that you see on the right-hand side of your screen, the questions area. And then we will get to those as soon as she's finished with her presentation and take as many questions as possible. So I'm going to turn the microphone now over to Melissa so she can get started. Welcome, Melissa. It's really great to have you here with us today.
Oh, Joni, thank you so much. It is wonderful, wonderful to be here with you and with your agency community with Travel Professional News. We are always so delighted to chat about the travel business and specifically about turning your passion for travel into a professional endeavor. At Dugan's Travels, we like to build professional travel advisors. And so when we were asked to present today, we really jumped at the chance. I hope that you will find this presentation informative as we are getting into the end of the year and the holiday season. It's a great time to start thinking about either jumping into the industry or how you're going to craft your travel business in the year ahead. January being all about fresh starts, it could be a great time for you to make a fresh start with your travel business. For those that stay till the end, we've got a special treat for you. We are going to be giving away a $50 Amazon gift card, which we hope that you will use either to augment some of your holiday shopping or even better, procuring some items to further establish your business in 2023. So without further ado, again, my name is Melissa Land. I'm the marketing coordinator here with Dugan's Travels. And we really like to start when we talk about taking your business from maybe that hobby to that more professional endeavor. We encourage our advisors to start with considering a niche, especially for new agents. But even for our experienced ones that are looking to take their business to the next level, having a niche really helps you to hyper focus both your marketing and your development training efforts. It is really hard to know a lot about a lot of things. And quite frankly, generalists in this industry spend a lot more time on that learning curve than in the actual servicing of their clients. So luckily, it's very easy to learn a lot about some specific things, which is where identifying and selecting a niche really comes into play. But so what is a niche? At its very basic, it's a specialty. Google actually has the best definition for niche, I think, which is on your screen, a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. The words that really stick out to me are specialized segment, meaning only some people will be looking for what you're going to sell. And then particular kind of service means what they'll be looking for. So at Dugan's, we understand that the number one driver for agents to come to us is because they want to be in business for themselves. You want to build your own little business selling travel. And especially for those on this that are viewing this presentation, you want to build a successful business endeavor selling travel. As a business owner, you call the shots. You're free to choose whatever it is you'd like to sell and whoever it is you'd like to sell it to. That decision is yours and yours alone. And within our industry, there's so much that the possibilities really are endless. So if we can start with just a little quick exercise, I would love for those on the line to just take a few moments and visualize your perfect travel business. What does that look like to you? As you're building this visual, ask yourself these questions. Like, what's bringing you joy? What's professionally satisfying to you with that picture that you're seeing? Who are you talking to? And what are you talking about? Now, there are no wrong answers to these questions, but this really helps you to focus on what's unique and special to you about the travel business. So whether your vision is you're sitting in a hammock with a drink, talking to a couple about the best Caribbean islands, or maybe you're on a yacht with friends, sailing through the Greek islands, talking about shopping. Or maybe you're in your home office, meeting with a young family, helping them plan their first family vacation with the kids to Disney. Or maybe you could just be sitting there thinking, man, Melissa, I don't even know. That's okay too. But sometimes you really don't know what you don't know. And so that's where we like to at least get you thinking about what that could be. Starting with what speaks to you about what you'd like to sell. And so ultimately the niche is your specialty. So there's some important things to note though, before we move further. First and foremost, a niche doesn't mean that that's all you sell unless you want to. Especially with us here at Dugan's, but many different hosts have many different companies that you're attached to, that we're contracted with. So no matter what your vision is, particularly with those advisors that affiliate with us at Dugan's, no matter where your clients may be looking to go, what type of travel experience you're looking to build for them, the way that they're looking to get there, planes, trains, automobiles, cruise ships. But we have those supplier partners in place to help you to build that vision. So it really, again, is specific to you and what you would like to focus on. Again, the niche is not all that you will sell. Doesn't mean you refuse that other business. But the niche is really where you hone your craft. So as you're thinking about developing your niche, it is great to start with thinking about the types of travel experiences you may have had personally or those that you'd like to develop. It is always easiest to talk about and learn about those things which we are most passionate about. Most advisors, when they look to, or most people when they look to become travel advisors, they're already somewhat traveled before they begin to look at this as a business endeavor. For those that may have some experience already, but you're looking to take it to the next level, really thinking about what customers you may have helped in the past that really spoke to you or made you the most happy in helping them. And then that's where that's a great place for you to start. For those that, again, may just be new to this, maybe you had a fantastic destination wedding and want to create that for others. Or maybe it's not a place that you've traveled to yet, but one that's on your goals list. Maybe you want to explore Italy or immerse yourself in Costa Rica. And that's a good place to start your focus. What destinations or brands are you most passionate about is another question to ask yourself. Maybe you have a favorite destination like Mexico or Hawaii, Nashville, Spain. Again, the possibilities really are endless, but those are the places that you'd like to immerse yourself in. Or maybe you had an experience with an amazing brand and you want to help other travelers to experience that. Sandals Resorts, Marriott, Sofitel. The list goes on and on, but that can be a very great place to start. You know, if you're talking about Sandals Resorts as an example, there are only certain areas of the world where they operate. That helps you to, and there's only certain types of travelers that they're catering to. That can help you to develop what your niche is. A final question to ask yourself is, what types of clients do you want to work with? You know, if prickly people make you nervous, maybe destination weddings or bridezillas might not be your forte. If you are very active in your church, maybe you want to look at faith-based travel. Maybe your kids are in sports and you find yourself doing a lot of domestic travel, group travel around the country. Maybe that's something to focus on for your niche. Again, the possibilities, I can't say it enough, are endless, but determining your niche really starts with you. Here, if you'd like to take a screenshot, are a list that we have put together of just a few examples of niche markets to consider as you think about what your focus will be in the year ahead. These are really more generalities than specifics. You can dig down much deeper into each one, whether we're talking ancestry travel, maybe your focus is on ancestry travel to Ireland, or recognition programs that are only performed on cruise ships. Again, there are many different possibilities for you. Once you know who you want, ultimately choosing a niche helps you to focus. And once you know who you want to speak to and what you'd like to speak about, your other components can fall better into place. So once you've decided kind of what you want to sell, then you want to talk about developing your value proposition. Another word for value proposition is your USP. Your USP is your unique selling proposition. What does that mean? Ultimately, it's two questions. One is, why should a customer book with you versus the internet? In our industry, it is really no secret that our #1 competitor is the internet. Quite frankly, for many years, the traveling public has been conditioned to think that the role of a travel advisor is obsolete and that we hold no value other than to enter data. Oh, what a silver lining 2020 was for us then, because it forced the traveling public to reconsider our position. It is very vital to have real live assistance when you're looking to, particularly to explore an unfamiliar place. But ultimately, the digital age is upon us, and there are always going to be people that will book on their own. Your job is to present a compelling reason for why the traveling public should work with you versus booking online on their own. And then also too, although within Dugan's, we believe very strongly in collaboration over competition. We are all resources to one another. But as you're thinking about how to differentiate yourself on the internet, you also want to think about how to differentiate yourself from other advisors. What is it that you uniquely offer that makes your business special and the go-to for your customer? The USP is your strength. So what does that mean though? We feel like your USP falls into a few different categories generally. And again, it really is up to you to hone those in specifically. But the very first is knowledge and expertise. Our industry is very dynamic and ever changing. There are new hotels and resorts constantly coming online, being bought and sold, rebranded. New destinations are being developed. New brands are emerging and there are new experiences to be had. You need to know what's available so that you can advise your clients accordingly. Ultimately, people don't know what they don't know. They may know that they want to go to a particular destination because it sounded dreamy when they heard it on TV. But your job is to translate those dreams into a reality. And so that is where your strength comes in. Your job is to know. People don't know what they don't know. Your job is to know and to be able to share that intelligently with your customer. Next is in forging industry relationships. The internet is the internet. That's not interpersonal relations. You have the opportunity to get to know the people that represent the brands that you focus on. Whether you're at the beginning of the sales process or need help closing the sale, you're looking for guidance in the event that something goes wrong, there are people that are available to help you. That is not, and in turn to help your client. That is not a relationship that your client can develop on their own. That inherently makes you adds to the value of working with you versus someone booking online, especially. Likewise, industry relationships doesn't only mean talking to suppliers. That's also the relationships that you have with other professionals within the industry, your fellow travel advisors. Taking some time to get to know them and to develop those relationships, whether you do it online or in person, you do yourself a disservice if you don't develop that. And it's especially a disservice for your client because that is knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge to be shared within our industry from agent to agent. That is a strength that you have to be connected to that. Here with Dugan's Travels, we call ourselves a family of agents. We really are. We have advisors that specialize in a variety of destinations and types of travel all over the world. And so for me, I might be working on a request that's a little outside of my wheelhouse, but I'm directly connected to someone where that is their wheelhouse. That allows me to better serve my client leaps and bounds above what they could find online. That's a strength. And you in turn, as being a member of a host agency community, and although I may be biased, Dugan's Travels host agency community, those relationships that we seek to foster, those are going to be beneficial to you and to add to your strength as a service provider to your customers. Another element of your USP is in being a travel advocate. Again, clients are going to come to you because they want that human element. The internet has a lot of information, which is great, but the internet has a lot of information, which can be not so great. How does an ordinary traveler know what's fact and what's fiction? And how do you parse through that? Well, again, because you're working on your industry relationships and accessing tools and resources specific to the travel community and honing in your craft, you are able to better be that travel advocate to your client, to be working for them and to help them parse through that information to find what's going to create the best experience for them. Last but not least is ease of access. I cannot overstate this enough. Particularly with 2020, clients discovered that it's not always easy to get through to that nameless, faceless website. How much more powerful to be able to just pick up the phone and call you or shoot you a text or send you an email or however it is you're training your customers to work with you and know that they don't have to go through the whole story of their issue. You're very familiar with their travel plans and you are there for them. You are their travel person. That is a benefit that your clients will receive working with you versus booking on their own. And so again, your USP represents your strengths. Now you might be asking yourself, Melissa, that sounds so great, but how do I do that? Where do I start? There are many, many, many ways to develop your value proposition. First and foremost, become a specialist. Take the brand specific courses, watch their webinars, attend presentations, immerse yourself in the brands and the destinations that you will sell. For the most part, the courses that are offered by various suppliers and tourism boards, those are web-based and self-paced and free. You need only be affiliated with an agency, with a host agency such as ours, in order to gain access to that. Now, I will say that if you're specializing in catering to a certain type of traveler, it really is a benefit to you to join a trade organization. And their membership and classes usually are not free, but they will, what you will earn in future sales will more than pay for that membership, because those organizations are immersing themselves in the needs of those customers. So like if you're going to sell cruises, then looking to CLIA to become a CLIA specialist would be a good place to start. If you're looking at selling destination weddings and honeymoons, looking at the Destination Wedding and Honeymoon Specialists Association is a great place to start. The Adventure Travel Trade Association, if you're looking to focus on adventure travel. These are just a few examples, but there are many. There are many different trade organizations out there that can help you as you're looking to address the needs of a certain population. But taking those specialist courses is really critical in helping you to develop that value, that knowledge and expertise to provide value to your client. Next up is see the destinations. Take advantage of FAMs if you are able to. Many different organizations offer them, whether it's your host agency to the tourism board or different suppliers. Focus on trying to get out to see those products that you're going to be selling. By that same token, particularly now as more and more things are opening up, you may find that there are more opportunities out there to see different places. Be selective in the opportunities that you choose. FAMs are a great way to experience product, but if that product is not the right fit for who you're looking to sell to or what you're looking to sell, don't just jump on it because it's there. Be strategic in the elements that in those FAMs or in those destinations that you seek to visit. Next is developing a professional sales process. This includes having contracts or authorization forms for credit cards for when you're working with your clients. Have and use a CRM system. That is something that we provide to our advisors as part of your support fee. But there are also third-party companies out there that just sell CRM programs that you can take advantage of. Do take advantage of it. You want to keep a concise record of your clients and be able to have a centralized way to reach out to them. You want to always make sure that you're able to engage with them in a professional manner. And then practice your pitch many, 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 many times. The more that you spent the time to really devise what your value proposition is. I recommend a 30-second, what's called an elevator pitch, 30 seconds or less. When someone asks you, what do you do? This is what you tell them. Work on what that pitch is. Study it, break it apart, put it back together, hone it, and then practice it. Because the more that you practice it, the easier it becomes. This is really your representation of your business that you're building. This is you sharing about your baby. You want to do that in the most concise way possible for the maximum effect. For those that may be struggling with speaking about themselves or your company, consider joining an organization like Toastmasters or a networking organization like BNI or Team. all of those are really great companies for helping you, or organizations, for helping you to work on developing your business, speaking about your business and developing your pitch. Don't skip that step, because it can definitely separate you from someone who may seem like they're doing their business more casually, and then those that are operating in a more professional fashion. And so, speaking about representing yourself in a professional fashion, let's talk about branding your agency. Focus on brand you. You are your business. On social media, out at the grocery store, on the quotes that you send, everything that you put out there is a reflection, is going to reflect on your company. And so you want to be very intentional and strategic about that. As you're building your brand, there are some key components to include and consider. First, professional email address. Gmail is a fantastic resource, but be mindful of your Gmail handle if you're using it in the course of business. If you have something very casual that doesn't in any way scream travel, you might want to look at setting up a separate one just for that. But ideally, we encourage you to have an email domain. It's a very low cost investment that can have a huge impact on presenting your company in a professional fashion. Consider having a logo. We encourage our advisors to brand their services under their own company name and logo. And within our system, you're able to upload that logo in order to create invoices, itineraries, a variety of different professional documents to help you in the process of selling travel. But even if your host doesn't have that, supplier tools that are made available to you by a lot of major brands give you the option of uploading your logo, and you want to be able to take advantage of that. That is a visual representation of your company. And so taking some time to invest in developing that is going to go a long way toward putting your professional foot forward for your agency. Another option is a website, whether it's a landing page or a full-scale digital, this is your digital address on the web, and it can be as grandiose or as simple as you so choose. Taking some time to set up a small place on the web, and it doesn't have to be anything extensive, but having that is a very good step in building your brand. Understanding that your social media is a reflection of your brand, whether you're sharing information on your personal page or on your business page. We encourage having pages for your business, but there are different schools of thought as it relates to that. I don't think that there's a wrong answer. It really just depends on where your target customers are hanging out. You want to be there and how you can best present yourself in that media, but making sure that whatever you're putting out there is a reflection of the brand that you're hoping to present and promote. That is really the key. And then, as I talked about before, having forms and documents. You are a business, and so representing yourself accordingly really is key. Specific to our host agency, we also offer an agent profile page, which you can see my profile page right here. This allows you to collect reviews. It is part of a lead generation program that can drive traffic to or potential customers to you. So sharing that profile page, there's a way for people to email you or contact you through there, as well as some launch pads to your social media. We also offer an email marketing program, but whether perhaps your host does not, there are email marketing programs out there in the marketplace that you can utilize. And so we encourage you to have some sort of process in place for reaching out to your customer. The benefit of using an email marketing program, particularly a third-party one, is that you're able to capture data. You know, what are your customers, potential customers, or mailing list recipients? What types of emails are they responding to? Are they opening it? Is it automatically going in their trash? You know, maybe that's not a person you want to spend too much time marketing to if they're never reading your content. But investing in some type of program and then being active in it and tracking is going to be helpful to you as you build your brand. Industry training is a huge component in building your brand. If you want to promote yourself as a specialist in Hawaii, well, the Hawaii Convention and Visitors Bureau has a specialist program that you as an advisor can take. And once you complete it, there are marketing tools and resources available to you to shout about your new specialist status. All of that helps you to build your credibility within that space. So use those to your advantage. And then last but not least are FAMs, which I talked about before. In terms of using it to showcase your expertise, that's going to help you as you build your brand and promote your business. So that concludes my presentation for today. I really want to thank you all so much for taking the time to join me and to learn a little bit about some points to consider as you are growing your business and focusing on your business in the year to come.
Thank
Jody,
you so much, Melissa. Fantastic presentation and some really usable things here. I do have some questions for you, if you don't mind. One of them is, first of all, that's a statement more than anything else. It says from Kevin, he says it came at the right time because I'm just opening his new business. So I think that's awesome. I'm really glad you're learning from it, Kevin. Very, very helpful. He's also asked, how can I identify the right niche for myself?
So you really want to go back to asking yourself what it is that you want to, where are your passions? Do you like skiing? Do you prefer Caribbean islands? What types of vacations do you like to take? Are you more interested in backpacking? You know, start from what makes you most excited about the industry and go from there. That would be my recommendation to everyone who's thinking about what niche to focus on. I think too often advisors feel like, well, what if I pick this and then it's not profitable? Yeah, I guess that's a chance, but what if you pick this and suddenly you encounter a whole group of like-minded individuals who are also passionate about that? And then you have the information on how they can experience that, whatever that is, firsthand. That's a win. So I would say that when you're following your passion, the money will follow. I mean, of course, you want to be strategic in all aspects of your business. And if something you find you were really passionate about to begin with, and then 6 months, 8 months down the line, maybe less so, then at least you've tried. But more often than not, when you start from that place of what you're most passionate about, it's going to help you to find that tribe that is equally as passionate, and your business will grow as a consequence of it.
Okay, perfect. She's Mary. I'm sorry. Mary says, can I identify? How do I actually identify the right clients for my business?
That is a great question,
Well,
Miriam.
I mean, if you think about it, though, if you have your niche, those are your right clients, right? I mean, that's who you're going to search for, the people that are going to fit into that place that you've created that you're going to focus on. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, then another question that kind of goes along with it from Cheryl says, any harm in having more than one niche?
No. If you have one or two things that you want to specialize in, I don't think that there's, or even three things that you want to specialize in. That's not, there's no downside to that. I would say, I would just caution any advisor from piling too much on at once. Pick something and develop it as much as you can, and then maybe move on to the next one. Or maybe you're studying two destinations or types of travel concurrently. But as I said before, it's very difficult to know a lot about a lot of things. So, but if you have two or three, like that's, as long as it's manageable for you, that's manageable.
Okay, so I have another question. I know what I'd answer to this, so I'm anxious to see how you're going to answer this one. As you open a business, which one should come first, profit or customer satisfaction?
Well, I think that customer satisfaction is definitely key. However, before you even hang out your sign to say I'm open for business, you do want to have a plan in place with an eye toward profit. Your business has to be sustainable in order for it to continue as a business. I guess I would want more information on how you define customer satisfaction. I think that there are those travelers, they're not your customers yet, they haven't purchased from you, but there are those people out there that maybe they want to pick your brain, but then they want to still go off and book on their own. I would encourage any advisor to develop a system to prevent that, because ultimately your knowledge and expertise is part of the benefit of working with you. I could do a whole master class on service fees. We won't talk about that today. But there is something to be said for, you don't want to give your work away for free. And so before you start even marketing your services, you want to think about how you can be profitable in this space and what that's going to look like. That entails setting goals. That entails having benchmarks. There's a lot that goes into play with that. And so then when you are actively selling and you have a client and you are managing their account, then your systems are in place to guarantee their satisfaction insofar as you are able. Things happen on when people are traveling, and sometimes things go wrong. Maybe a flight is delayed. Maybe there could be anything. Maybe somebody broke their leg. Unforeseeable things that may play into their satisfaction with the trip, but you want to make sure that you have in place, whether it's travel protection or elements that can assist them so that they are always satisfied with your service, even if things may go wrong during the trip itself.
Great answer. Okay, another one. Is it best to have your website built professionally or to try to build it on your own?
That is an excellent question as well. I'm so excited for all these questions today. I think that I don't think you have to have a super expensive website when you first start out. However, I have seen advisors that get very hung up on having to build the perfect website when all they want to do is sell travel, and they're not a web designer by any shape or form. And that becomes a point that hangs them up and prevents them from really focusing on their business. I would encourage advisors that are just starting out to put together something very basic. If you're able to put together something very basic, whether it's with GoDaddy or Wix or Weebly or something, and get it out there, then do it. But if you feel like that is challenging because you are not tech savvy and that's going to hang you up, then pay someone to put it together. Again, it doesn't have to be anything extensive, but the point is to have your address on the web. So however you can do that in a way that is not going to prevent you from handling the other elements of building your business is the way to go. Oh, and if
Okay.
I may, as a follow-on to
Oh,
that,
sure.
say, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
If I may, as a follow-on to that, just say that your website is meant to provide a means for your potential customers to access your contact information 24/7. Sales is not being made on the web. So I don't think it needs to, that's why I say I don't think it needs to be very extensive. It just needs to be a place where a potential customer can easily get to access your information so that they then can reach out to you directly with whatever question or request that they may have.
Awesome. Okay. And now, any tips on naming the business?
Well, I would say that you definitely want it to be something relevant to either your niche or to the type of travel that you're hoping to sell,
Perfect.
or just to travel in general.
Okay. Now, someone has been writing on a couple times, and I've answered a few of his questions independently, but his name is James, and unfortunately, James became handicapped recently. And he's found now that it's really important to him to make sure that people who are in that situation are able to travel, and he'd like to make that his business. And he'd like to take it to the next level, but he was trying to figure out how does he turn it into a profitable travel business. And I know there used to be a trade association for accessible travel, but I'm not sure that made it through COVID. I don't know if you have any suggestions there for him, Melissa.
I do actually. I would definitely encourage James to visit the special needs group. They are still in operation after COVID.
Oh, okay. It was a different name I was thinking of. Maybe they changed the name then. Okay.
I just got an email from them, so I'm gonna quickly see if I can
That's great.
find this within
While you're
my.
looking for that, I'm going to answer a question that's kind of to us here. Someone was asking if we were going to be sending the presentation to everybody. No, we actually don't send out Melissa's PowerPoint presentation. That's her property, but we do record the session, and she knows it's been recorded. So this particular session will be at travelprofessionalnews.com probably within the next maybe 3 hours. And it'll be up there in the recorded webinars area under host agencies. But just give it enough time to populate. Sometimes it takes a little while. It may not show up till tomorrow morning where you can actually populate it. But that's where you can find the webinar because it has been recorded, everybody. I just want to let you all know that. So go ahead if you found that, Melissa.
Excellent. Yes, it is special needs group, and they have a Facebook group that's SNG, like Special Needs Group for Travel Professionals. They also have a certification, a specialist program that you may want to check out. They just celebrated their 15th anniversary. And I also want to mention that they are also affiliated or a part of Special Needs at Sea. But Special Needs Group is their trade side. And their email is specialneedsgroup, all spelled out, .com.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, the one I was thinking of was somebody else wrote it in here for me too as well. It was SAF, which was S is in Sam, A apple, T Tom, H.org. And that's the one I was thinking of. And I'm not sure if that one is still in existence or if maybe special needs took that over or what. But I know special needs does a fantastic job. And they're usually at trade shows and such. I usually have seen, they usually have a
Yeah.
booth at the trade shows. So that's a great suggestion, Melissa. That's really going to help him, I'm sure.
That well, I definitely wish him luck. Mobility travel and special needs travel is there's a huge need, and special needs group is working very closely with the agency community in order to help address that need. So so definitely reach out to them because they can help you answer any questions to get started and also provide a resource um, even for those advisors that may not be specializing in mobility travel. One of the resources that they provide are device rental um, around the world. So even for agents that may think, well, I'm not going to focus on that, definitely keep that information on hand because travelers come in a lot of shapes and stripes, and you may be working with a group and suddenly someone needs a scooter rental or information on dialysis. You can help them with that. So
Yeah, that's
definitely keep
perfect.
the special needs group in mind.
Yeah, that's perfect. And to let him know, I have to tell you, I know so many professional travel advisors who are highly successful, who have specialized in this type of travel. One lady that I know who actually has, sadly, has lost both of her legs some years ago, and has had a numerous, she's been in a chair for a very, very long time. And she has been so successful. She takes groups, every 3 or 4 cruise groups a year. Where she takes other folks in the same situation and they travel together. I see pictures on Facebook all the time, and so trust me, you can make a great business out of helping other people with this type of accessible needs. So that's awesome. So I
Absolutely.
think, let's see, somebody asked a question which I answered, which was to me. And then somebody just gave a website address. Keisha just said gowheelsaccessible.com. So I don't know, maybe that's something else you can check into to find out if that is something you might be able to get information from. Overall, everyone loved your session, Melissa. People are saying fantastic. I learned so much. Thank you. And then I'll before we give away the prize and do that, I'm going to close with the last comment, which was amazing session. And I love your voice, Melissa, she says. So, Barbie, that's a really nice thing to say. And I'm sure Melissa appreciates that.
Thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate all of the positive comments. I really am personally passionate about sharing tools and resources with advisors. Just like our clients come in all different shapes and sizes and stripes and needs, advisors do as well. Within Dugan's Travels, we really like to focus on helping you, the agent, the advisor, develop your business to your success. Success is defined differently by each person. So we really like to customize our offerings to you.
That's fantastic.
I love
I know
hearing
that's
about different things that agents like to pursue because there are so many different interests in the world, and you will definitely find a tribe that shares those interests with you.
Yes, and I can tell you folks that are on here, you've not looked into host agencies yet, or if you are still in that process, Dugan's calls themselves a family. And to be honest with you, I've worked with them for years and years and years, and I've known Jennifer Dugan, the owner, for a long, long time. And it is true; they really do treat their agents like family, and that means a whole heck of a lot in this day and age. So I want to make sure I shared that. Melissa, do you want to ask the question, folks? What we're going to do on the prize is Melissa's going to ask the question, or would you like me to do it? And then you tell me, you want to ask it or do you want me to ask it?
Oh, you can ask it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question, folks. Once I ask that question, the seventh person that types into the chat area or the questions area where you've been typing questions before, the correct answer. So in the questions area, the correct answer, the seventh one I see in front of me is going to win a $50 Amazon gift card, which is so generous of you guys. Thank you
Ooh,
so much. All right, so are you guys ready?
Lucky
Here we
number
go.
7. Lucky number
Here we go.
7.
Number 7. Let's go. And you gotta keyboard fast, folks. Okay. And this is a two-part question. So wait for the whole question before you answer. What does USP stand for, and what does it mean? Okay, nobody's putting it in there. Oh, here we go. Thank you. I was getting nervous. Celine, it did work, so I hope you know. You asked if your chat was working, and it's working. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think we may have it. Okay. Unique selling proposition means why a customer should book with me. And that would be the winner, correct? Is that the right answer, ma'am?
Woo! Yes,
And
I
that's
agree.
Jennifer Holmes. And Jennifer has had some great questions today to do. So, Jennifer, that's fantastic. I'm so glad you won. You've really participated today with a lot of great questions. All right, awesome. So, everybody, this was really fun. I learned a lot, and I've been doing this a long time, and I always learn something from you folks that come on here with your expertise. Melissa, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for taking the time and for your wonderful comments about what a great job she did on the presentation. And I know she's going to see all these and feel really good about it. So thank everybody for being here. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And we will see you guys the next time around. Have a great
Thank you.
holiday season, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.